Good morning, guys. Thank you for joining me today. Today is April 28th, Tuesday, and we are going to get started with Module 4, Lesson 24. As always, before I begin my lesson with you guys, I would like to take a brief moment and say thank you to our friends and family and everything they do for us. And please, go give your friends and family a hug if they're around you. If not, then when they do come home, please give your family member a hug, because some of us have very tough time, and when we say thank you and please, and when you just smile at them, it brightens up their day. So at this time, you can just go say thank you to your parents and your family member, and they'll appreciate you for that. Let's get started. And today's objective is decompose the number 8 using 5 group drawings and crossing off a part, and record each decomposition with a drawing or subtraction equation, which it means that we're going to use number 8 in a 5 group way when we draw our pictures, and we're going to cross off a part to figure out what the missing part is. And we're going to use that in our subtraction number sentence. So the materials you'll be needing are loose leaf paper. You'll be needing something to write with. You will need your math book. You'll definitely need your number bond chart, and you'll need some sort of materials. A group of 8. I would suggest you to have at least minimum of 8 pieces of anything you can find around the house. So you can pause the video and gather up those materials and put them to the side so we can get started with our application problem together. So the application problem is, I'll read it twice and we will break it apart into small parts, and we will do one question at a time. So the problem reads, Christabella had 8 cats in her house. 3 of the cats went outside. Draw a number bond about the cats. How many cats were still in the house? Can you make a number sentence to tell how many cats were still inside? So I'm going to read it again, and this time we are going to see, I'll stop in between and we'll see which were the parts that we need to work for. Christabella has 8 cats in the house. 3 of the cats went outside. Draw a number bond about the cats. So first we do the pictures, right? And then we are going to do a number bond. After that, it said how many cats were still inside the house, which means we have to, from the picture or from the number bond, we have to figure out how many cats were still inside the house. And can you make a number sentence to tell how many cats were still inside? So from our number sentence, we have to figure out, and from our number bond, we will see how many cats were still inside the house. So before we begin with the number bond and the number sentence, let's draw the cats. So how many cats are there? Who can tell me from looking at the screen? You can call out. That's right, we have 8 cats. So I'm going to draw a picture of 8 cats. And as you can see, I did my 8 cats in a 5 group way. How? I have 5 cats in the top and 3 in the bottom. So 5 group means you have a set of 5 all the time, whether it's vertical or whether it's horizontal or vertical. In this case, we're using horizontal or sideways. So we have 5 cats on the top, 3 on the bottom. So the next thing, it says 3 cats went outside. So for me to show 3 cats went outside, I'm just going to make them disappear because they went outside. So let's take a look how many cats are still inside the house. So we already know that this is a 5-group way we drew the picture, right? So we drew the 5-group way, and 3 of them went outside as I showed you. So that means this is 5 cats. So how many cats are still inside the house? Please call out. That's right, we have 5 cats. So now I have to do a number bond. So let's do our number bond, which is here, which means how many cats did we start off with? We started off with 8 cats. That's right, because the story says 8 cats in her house. How many went out? How many went outside? So from the picture you saw 3 of them went outside. So in number bond, when we talk about taking 3 away, we just put an X mark on the top to show that 3 of them went outside. So which means I have only 5 left. That has to be my other part, because 3 and 5 makes 8. And since we started off with 8 and we took 3 away, that leaves us with 5. So the number sentence that will match our number bond is 8, because that's the number of cats we have altogether. Since it's a subtraction problem, we have to use a subtraction sign. And we took 3 cat because the story says 3 cat went outside. So I'm going to show that 3 cats went outside. And the other part, or the answer, there are 5 cats still in the house. So since we did this together, you can put your materials aside and we will do our lesson. Again, this time, as you can see, I have 5 counters in my whiteboard. This is a 5-group way. Who can tell me why this is a 5-group way? Nicholas. Okay, go ahead, Nicholas. Tell me why this is a 5-group way. Very good, Nicholas, because 5 counters are on the top and 3 on the bottom. So I have 8 counters all together. Let's see how many did I decide to cross off. I decided to cross 2 off. So I know that I started off with 8 and I took 2 away. Let's count to see how many I have left. I have 5 in the top, and 5 and 1 more is 6. So I have 5, 6. Since I did not have to count from 1 again, because I already know, I use the method of counting on to figure out how many are left, which is 6. And the way I would say it in a sentence is 8 take away 2 is 6, because I took 2 away. Now we are going to put it in number bond. So what is our whole? Please call out and tell me what is our whole. That's right, 8 is our whole. And how many did we take away? We took 2 away. So I'm going to put X mark on the 2 to show that we took 2 away. So how many are left? That leaves me with 6 counters. So the answer must be 6. So at this time, this slide highlights how would we show taking away or subtraction in a sentence form and a number bond form. In the next slide, we will be looking at number sentence. We're not going to use the word takeaway. The word takeaway is same as saying the symbol subtraction. So let's show you. So the way I would show, okay. If I use the word takeaway, this is the sign for takeaway, which is subtraction. I can go back and forth with subtraction or takeaway. So the next slide is going to show we're going to work with the same counters, but instead of working with the number bond and the sentence, we're just going to work with number sentence. So let's take a look. Again, we have 8 counters, and I'm going to decide to take 1 away. I have 8, I took 1 away, so the number sentence looks like 8 minus 1, when we find answer, we use the equal sign. So we will say 8 minus 1 equals 7. Let's do another one together. I started off with 8, and then I crossed off 2. So my number sentence looks like 8 minus 2 equals 6. Again, 8 minus 2 equals 6. I'm sorry, it's not 7. 8 minus 2 equals 6. So at this time, I want you to take out your 8 counters with me. We are going to do one together. So we have 8 counters, right? Let's see how many Miss Shaima crossed off. So make sure you have 8 of any of the materials you can find around the house. And I'm going to cross off 3 this time. Since you cannot, those of you who are using the dry erase board, if you are using dry erase board, you can cross 3 off with your marker. If you are not, if you're working with materials, you can take 3 of the materials and put it on the side. At this time, if you're working on a dry erase, please on the bottom of the paper, please write down the number sentence that you think would match the picture. If you are working with the materials, at this time, please take out a loose leaf paper and something you can write with to show me the number sentence that matches with your picture. I will do mine and you will do yours, and we will see if ours match or not. So you can pause the video to write your number sentence. So my number sentence is 8 minus 3 equal 5. I didn't have to go back and count 5 because I already know the top row has 5. Give me a thumbs up if yours matches with mine. If it doesn't, you may fix your work. And let's do one more together. And after that, you will put your materials away. So please bring back all 8. If you're writing in your loose leaf paper, please just put that to the side. If you're working with your dry erase board, you can erase it. Please bring your 8 materials back. And this time we are going to take out 4. So I have 3 in the bottom, 1 in the top. So please erase or cross off or take away 4 of the materials that you've been working with. And you can pause the video and come up with your own number sentence as I'm coming up with my own. So I have 8 minus 4. I started off with 8 and I have 4 X's on 4 of the circle, which means my answer is 4. 8 minus 4 equals 4. If your answer does not match mine, please correct your work and put your materials to the side, and rest of it you will just see me do it on my board. So we will go back to 8 again, and this time we will be taking out 5. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the number sentence that matches that is 8 minus 5 equal 3, because I still have 3 that are new. So I'm going to again erase the X's and go from the beginning of 8. And this time I'm going to take out 6 of them. So the number sentence that goes along with this one is 8 minus 6 equals 2. And I will repeat the same thing again. With this time I will take out 7. So the number sentence, let's do it together, would be, I want you to call it out just like me, 8 minus 7 equals 1. So 8 minus 7 equals 1. So I'm going to start again, and this time we are going to take all of them out, which means 8 minus 8. Do I have any circle that has no X's on it? Great, I do not. So 8 minus 8 is nothing. The word nothing in math means 0. So 8 minus 8 equals 0. So at this time, please put all of your materials aside and we will get started with our problem set. And since this is Tuesday, today is April 28th. So first thing first, I'm going to put date 4-28-2020. Please make sure you put date on both of the pages and your name, because some of you guys are submitting work that doesn't have name on the other side, and it is difficult for me to understand when I put it in my computer to know who is that. So at this time, make sure you put your name and date on both pages. So I am going to, and this problem set is only for the students with the math book. Again, it's only for the students who has the math book. Let's see. Let's read the direction and we'll do it together one, and rest of it you will do it by yourself. Fill in the number sentence and the number bonds. Put X on 3 dots. So just like in the lesson, we are working with 5 group way and dots. So put X's on 3 dots. So I'm going to just put a small line on 3 dots. And then we have to fill in the number bond and the number sentence. So the number sentence looks like 8 minus blank equals blank. So 8 minus, it says cross off 3 dots, right? Which means 8 minus how many dots we're crossing off? 3. So 8 minus 3, since we drew the 5 group way, we don't even need to count the top part. We already know that 5 is the answer because we have 5 dots in our 5 group way or on the top. Very good. So number bond says the number bond says 8 as a whole, and you have the 2 parts, right? So since 8 is a whole, 8 matches with this. One of the part, it says we crossed off 3. So that means 3 has to be one of the parts, and we crossed it off because it's a subtraction problem. That leaves us with the only number, which is the answer, 5, which means it is 5. You can check your work by using your hands. Please take out 8 fingers. So you have 5 in one hand and 3 on the other to make it 8. At this time, please show me 8 fingers. Then take 3 fingers in one hand and put it down. Take 3 fingers on your hand and put it down. How many fingers are you left with on the air? It must be 5 because we have 5 fingers in one hand. So your number sentence and number bond has to match. Please do this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 by yourself. Please allow your parents to read the directions to you if you do not know how to. Let's move on to the next portion. This is for the students who does not. Again, this is for the students who does not have the math book. Again, this is for the students who does not have the math book. So as always, please make sure you put today's date. So I'm just going to put it here on the side. And you can, it says draw 8 dots. So I'm going to draw 8 dots. 1, 2, and you have to do it in a 5 group way. So which means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And the next thing, it says put X on one dot. So I'm going to cross off one of them. I started off with 8 and I crossed one off. I'm going to do the number bond first in this page because I already have one of the, I have the whole over here written. How many did I cross off? I crossed off 1. So I'm going to put X next to it because I crossed 1 off. And then I will just count how many of the dots or how many of the circle that does not have X. Since I already know I have 5 at the top and 2 at the bottom, I'm just going to count on 5, 6, 7, which means I have 7 that goes here. Now my number bond has to match my number sentence. My number sentence reads blank minus blank equals blank. So I already know that this is going to be my answer because it's right before, or I would say it's right next to the equal sign. So I have 8 as whole, right? I'm just going to put 8 over here. 8 minus 1 equals, let's see what would our answer be. 8 minus 1 of the part is 7. So I'm going to put 7. 8 minus 1 equals 7. So please do this and this by yourself. And remember, your number bond and number sentence has to match. So the next part, as always, we have the shout out. And today I would love to give shout out to Layla, Jason, and Milani because they've been a wonderful student in kindergarten, and they try their best in class. And also, they are very nice to each other. They've been helping out their families, and I appreciate that a lot. Okay, at this time I would like to take your leave, but please, before I go, please do not forget to do I Ready, 30 minutes of ELA and 30 minutes of math every day. If you have any questions or you would like to maybe share something, please, do keep in touch, do tell your teachers about it, and we will try to help you as much as we can. Until then, take care, please stay safe and wash your hands. I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.